The Kundalini awakening process is just like puberty. Now, chances are you went through puberty successfully, and this can be the same way that you go through Kundalini awakening. Most likely you went through puberty without it being, completely debilitating. This can be the same way that you experience the unfolding of your Kundalini process. So it's actually the same intelligence that orchestrated your growth through puberty that also orchestrates your Kundalini process. It's also the same intelligence that orchestrates everything in all of existence. Everything we see in nature, everything we see, all of the processes unfolding within your body, even right now, your heart beating, lungs breathing, hair growing, all of that is orchestrated by the Shakti, by Kundalini Shakti. It's the spiritual power, spiritual intelligence, the creative force of the universe. And so you don't have to act as if Kundalini awakening is something very, very unique and different, and you have to approach it in a unique way compared to puberty or compared to digestion. You can actually surrender to it and trust in the intelligence of your body to be able to carry out this process, which is a natural process, okay? So today I'm going to just talk a little bit about spiritual puberty, you could say, Kundalini awakening. We can look at it like that. And we can know that now that it's awakened or active within you, it's carrying out this process, and you've already gone through one of the processes of natural human development rather successfully. And so you can rely on yourself to go through this one as well. You've already got some experience. You've already have valid proof to do that. Okay. So with that said, I do want to be sensitive to those that, of course, have had some health issues and complications around going to puberty. I know, in fact, that, some people do have challenges. It's not easy. They're not able to surrender to the divine intelligence and go through puberty smoothly. Some people don't go through puberty at all, for example. And I want to be sensitive to those people, but at the same time, I also want to make a point here. I'm making a generalization, okay? And this is targeted toward the idea that most people listening will have gone through puberty successfully, okay? So just a generalization. Don't mean to offend or hurt anyone's feelings. I also want to acknowledge here that, Kundalini is challenging, okay? It's challenging on many levels. I get it. I've been challenged by it. Health issues, emotional issues, relationship issues, overall just confusion, energetic instability, and uncomfortable things happening within the body, all sorts of difficult things. I get it. I understand. I've been through that stuff. I don't want you to feel as if today I'm just, minimizing all of your difficulty on your Kundalini awakening journey and saying, oh, it's like puberty. Just don't make a big deal about it. I know it's hard. And so today, I'm going to say it's just like puberty. Don't make a big deal about it. But I do also want to let you know that, I do have hours and hours of content offering more practical tools and insights to navigate some of the challenges. But today, my intention here with this idea is to snap you out of any sense of victimhood or disempowerment if you happen to be in that sort of mindset or attitude as you go through your Kundalini awakening process, okay? I don't want anybody to feel like a victim. I don't want you to feel like, Kundalini awakening is the worst thing that ever happened to you. It's horrible. What's the point? It sucks. No, it's just like puberty. It's a natural evolution, natural growing process. And in the same way that you went through puberty, you can go through Kundalini awakening successfully and smoothly with the right attitude, okay? So with that said, you can check out the other parts of this series for more specific tips and principles to help you through some of the more challenging parts of your journey, okay? Now, when you went through puberty, you went through it with the innocence and the default state of surrender as a child, okay? So you probably didn't overthink it at all. Whether you knew what was happening or not, you probably did not feel the need that you got to go out and read 100 different books or talk to all these different people who have gone through puberty and ask them about their experiences and ask them to help you and, compare notes. You probably didn't feel like you needed to understand anything about, the pituitary gland or, monitoring your hormonal levels and anything. You didn't feel like you needed to do anything to facilitate this natural growth process, right? So you had the wisdom of a child to go through puberty without tripping about it. In the same way, you can tap into that innate wisdom that you still have access to, which you had access to as a child. You can tap into it, and you can go through Kundalini in the same way. And you've already demonstrated that you have that natural default state of surrender by going through puberty, right? And when I say default state of surrender, I mean that surrender is not a state in which we try and do something. Surrender isn't something we do. Surrender is the default state. When we stop doing everything, we're in a state of surrender. So a child going through puberty isn't doing anything about it. They're not trying to surrender to the process of puberty. They're just in a state of surrender by default. And so you can be in a state of surrender by default as you go through your Kundalini awakening process by dropping any attitudes around this emphasis of being in control and of doing things to facilitate it. You just need to, just like how you went through puberty, you just let it happen. Most of the issues around Kundalini resolve themselves in time once you get out of the way, okay? So it's only when, we become adults that we lose this default state of surrender. Life gets busy. We want to control relationships. Sometimes as a child, we're more at the receiving end of relationships. Our parents sort of dictate how the relationships are, so we don't have much control. But then, when we get older, we get to, make friends. We have romantic partners. We have work relationships. And so we want to control those. And so our idea as adults, you're like, oh, we can control these. We can manipulate. We can, influence them in the direction that we want it to go. As children, parents say, all right, we're going here, we're going there, and we just surrender to it. But as adults, we can go anywhere. And so there's a sense of control that we have as adults. And we bring that sense of control into the natural process of Kundalini and expect it to work. But Kundalini is a natural process, just like puberty. So we have to almost revert back to this default state of surrender and let it unfold, recognizing it as a natural process, just like puberty, okay? So as adults, with this sense of control, also with the intellect, with the overemphasis that, society has put on the intellect, we praise intelligence, we praise people for being smart, for going to school, for, knowing everything. And so we think, okay, I got to know everything about Kundalini. I got to, know, what did this mystical experience mean? What was this symbolic synchronicity I had? What does it mean? Sometimes, you may feel like we want to learn a whole other language. I want to learn Sanskrit so I can read the original Vedic text in the original language without the interpretation of a translator. We get all these weird, almost like obsessive ideas about how to approach this Kundalini process, right? We want to know, where's my Kundalini blocked? Why is it blocked? What did I do to make it blocked? Did I do it in this life? Did I do it in a past life? Oh, maybe I should go and, do some past life regression with the hypnotist because I want to figure all that out. We get too caught up in trying to meddle in the process with control, with the need to know everything, this attachment to knowledge. We lose that default state of wisdom and that we had as a child. And the wisdom was just innocent. And just said, oh yeah, this is happening to me. Oh, okay. Should be okay. I'll just go through it like we went through puberty, right? So we got caught up, as adults. Oh, what breathing exercises should I do with Kundalini? Or maybe I'll go to this teacher or that teacher, read this book, and then we have this really tight grip on the steering wheel and we think I need to steer and control the direction of this unfolding, right? And this is where most of the issues arise, right? Most issues are arising because of this unnecessary control that we have, okay? So we don't really need to do anything on this Kundalini awakening journey except return to the default state of surrender, which means stop doing and just relax, okay? We need to listen to our system, listen to what our body, our intuition is asking for, okay? And just relax as best as we can, relax. And if not relaxing in the sense of, your nervous system going into a state of relaxation, it's just being with the process, being present with the process without trying to run away from it, without trying to change it, without trying to rush it, just being present with it. Not doing anything about it, but just being with it, right? Just watching it, allowing it to unfold, okay? And this is what you did already as a child going through puberty. You already did that. You were just with the process fully. You didn't feel like I said, you didn't feel you had to go read all these different books and consult all these different people. You just went through it, right? So when your body needed rest when you went through puberty, you just slept more. You slept in. You stopped getting up in the morning, early morning to watch cartoons, and you just slept. Okay. Maybe your parents laughed about, oh, look at this guy or this girl or whoever just sleeping all day. Yeah, because they're a teenager. Okay, normal, right? When you felt like your appetite was increasing, you just started to serve yourself more food. And people, maybe made some comments. Oh, yeah, you're eating all the food. Gotta go buy more food. You're eating all the food. Yeah, because you're going through puberty. And then that was it. You know, you didn't read a book. Oh, I'm going through puberty. I have to eat more. I have to increase my caloric intake. No, you just naturally started reaching for more food, right? And this is the same thing, right? So at the same time, you also will have shifts in your interests, right? As children, you know, they love to play with toys and watch cartoons and all that kind of stuff. But as hormones start to shift, interests shift. Maybe we're interested in romance. Maybe we need an outlet for all of that energy, right? Sports. Maybe there's all this creative energy flowing through us. So we, you know, begin to develop our talents as artists, musicians, writers, whatever, right? And so these are all natural transitions that we made without attachment to the toys or the cartoons. We just naturally drop them, right? In the same way, as your interests change on the Kundalini awakening journey, you know, maybe you're not interested in things like, you know, gossiping anymore, or you're not interested in anything that's not in alignment with your spiritual values or your spiritual purpose. And, you know, you may have some conflict. You may say, oh, I'm not myself anymore. Kundalini's, you know, it's made me a boring person, or I'm only interested in these things that, you know, my peer group doesn't always support. So there's all this attachment around these things. But as kids going through puberty, they don't think, oh, my friends aren't going to like me anymore because I'm not, you know, interested in the same cartoons as them. No, it's just a natural letting go, right? And you went through all of this already, which is really what I want to hammer home, is like you already went through this. When I'm talking about kids, I'm not talking about somebody else's kids or kids in a school. I'm talking about you. You already went through this. I'm talking about myself. We went through this already, right? So we already have the ability to go through this. It's ingrained in us, okay? Same with Kundalini. It's all like the natural inclination to go through this is already ingrained in us. You just have to let go of control a little bit, okay? So in the same way, your interests changed. Your mood may have changed as well. Mood swings, you know, teenagers, right? Same idea. You're going through some different emotional purging and purification. And nobody is, you know, when a kid goes through this, we just think, oh yeah, you know, they're going through puberty, right? You know, you don't take a kid to the doctor and say, oh, doctor, they suddenly gained a lot of weight, you know, their body's changing, you know, they've got hair on their legs. What's going on here, doctor? Why are they eating all the food? I think something's wrong. A doctor's going to say, well, you know, they're going through puberty, you know, get out of here, right? Let them go through the process. Same way, you know, you're going through Kundalini and things are changing and it's just the natural process. So it's like it's not like a sickness that needs to be treated, okay? So the same way that, you know, your parents approach you going through puberty, you know, they just let you go through it. They let you sleep or they let you eat more food. And if you had mood swings, you know, they were a little bit more forgiving. They said, oh yeah, it's okay. They're just a teenager that have going through, you know, hormones and all that kind of stuff. In the same way is how you have to be with yourself, as if you were your own child, where it's like, yeah, my diet's changing. My interests are changing. I need to meditate more. I need to sleep more, sleep less, right? My body might be changing. I'm having different energetic phenomena in my body. Oh yeah, this is Kundalini. Okay, it's okay. Now it is a little different, of course, because, you know, parents have gone through puberty, so they're able to relate and understand. And you maybe have not yet gone through Kundalini process, so it's difficult and scary to really be with yourself in the same way. And I understand that. And so there's benefit to also finding community with others going through it. But you want to remember that, like, it's not much different than puberty. As a generalization, the transformation that's happening, it's not much different, and you've already been through that, so we can go through it the same way, okay? So the same attitude that we took with puberty, that we would take with our own child going through puberty, this is the same attitude that we must take with our own Kundalini process, and things will just balance out in time, okay? You just have to let yourself go through it, and things will balance out in time. Like I said, things will work themselves out, or you'll be led to the right idea, teaching, realization, practice naturally, like organically, through synchronicity, through grace. It will just come to you, and you don't have to seek it out like with this like desperation, okay? It'll all just come to you in a very natural way, okay? Because this process that governs it, like I was saying, this is the same intelligence that governs all of creation. It's the same intelligence that governed you going through puberty, governs beating your heart, growing your fingernails, all this kind of stuff, okay? You don't know anything about growing fingernails, probably, unless you're like some specialist. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about digestion. I don't know anything about growing hair. It's happening on its own, and I'm out of the way. I'm in a default state of surrender, and when it comes to those processes, the same way we can approach our Kundalini awakening as well, okay? you have the intuition, you have the ability to navigate all of this yourself. You also don't need anybody to tell you specifically what to do, per se, okay? You just need to acknowledge and trust in your own inner instincts and surrender control, right? Because if somebody's telling you what to do, where are they getting the information from? What, did they read it in books? No, they got it intuitively within their own self. So they may have access, more direct and easy access to intuitive information that they can give you, but they're getting it from the same source that you have access to if you just practice, develop, get out of your own way. You can develop your own intuitive ability to lead and guide and teach yourself on this journey, okay? You did this before, going through puberty. Of course, you can do it again. Yeah, it's a little different, but of course, this is a generalization that I hope can be empowering and get you out of any confusion or any state of victimhood, feeling as if this is some really, really strange foreign thing that's happening to you. And, like the path isn't already laid out. The path is laid out, just like the path of puberty was laid out. Kundalini process has been laid out. You're not the only person who have ever gone through this. People have been going through it for thousands of years. It's ingrained in our collective psyche, our collective unconscious. You could say the information is there. It is a known process, just like puberty. So, you don't have anything to fear. Just relax into the default state of surrender that's already there, that you've already had, years of experience with as you went through puberty. Okay. So that's my message for you today. Hope it's been meaningful. You can visit brentspirit.com for more free content just like this. If you want to find out how you can meet with me, if you'd like to make a donation to support this work, or if you have any questions about any of the things I've shared here relating to Kundalini Awakening, relating to spiritual awakening, you can reach me at info@brentspirit.com. You can find out all about that at brentspirit.com. And I appreciate all of your support. Leave any comments below, any thoughts. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you have any questions. If there's something I can clarify, get in touch. I'll be happy to respond. Thanks a lot for spending your time with me today. And until next time, much love and peace.